Don't tell you twice. I'm real discreet. The thief in the night. Yeah. If I call you, I know it's good. I know it's true. I know it's fine. I'll tell you twice. I'm real discreet. The thief in the night. Thief in the night. If I call you, I know it's good. I know it's true. I know it's fine. I'll tell you twice. I'm real discreet. The thief in the night. Great test did it.
T-Cal made me do it.
YouTube, what's good, what's hood, man? It's y'all favorite hood partner, Big Nina Boy, and we back cracking with another one, man. Hey, so look, man, man, I gotta admit, man, this internet is on fire, man. I'm sitting back and I'm just checking with the binoculars, gang. I'm like, man, bro, if people not really learning from other people's mistakes, then man, we all going down, bro. We got some good content on the way, man. Shout out to DJ Akademiks. This is DJ Akademiks content. Yeah, man, it looked like the feds, man, dropped some bad news, man, unsealing more documents on what they will be using against Big U, man. So let me just say this, right? All those phone calls, everybody has anything to do with him, bro. Whack 100 including, man. If you run around town acting like them people ain't watching you, you got another thing coming, gang. They are watching, they paying attention, and they listening. You know, but for all the rolling 60s that's caught up in this, right? They don't wrap you up in no Rico, bro, and not have nothing on you. You know what I'm saying? They've been scoping out a lot of you dudes for a long time, gang. I know y'all don't want to believe it's real, but if you over there, bruh, you feel me? If you over there in the 60s, man, and you gave a statement, you better believe it's going to come out. You know what I'm saying? Protect yourself, save your life. Don't get caught up over there and get flatlined by thinking you could play both sides of the fence. It don't work like that. So with that being said, let's get to the content, man. Let go. All right, we got Act reacting to Big U's unsealed indictment against the Rolling 60s and Big U. Let go.
I showed up to No Jumper. I did the Adam and Wack show. I was there. Wack was there, obviously. Adam was there. Shout out to Traveler Ross was in the building, but also we have Remo and we also had DJ Vlad in the building. Let me tell you this. I had some ethical and dilemma questions that I had to ask to Adam, but also ask to other people, including Wack, who were there as well. Here's the question I had to Adam. By the way, do I in any shape or form blame the arrest of Big U and Loose Cannon, Brick Baby, and among others on any of these guys? No. But I do believe that that platform, as could be seen in the indictment, is the place where corroborations are being had. Except, here's the problem. No Jumper is building, it's built his entire backbone these days around gang stories. So I asked Adam, because I knew for me, if it said someone got indicted based on shit we do all the time, we'd probably stop doing it, especially if it's our mans. Brick Baby was Adam's mans. I've heard many stories of Adam going out in the town and Brick Baby holding him down. Brick Baby was a guy who was really respected by Adam.
Imagine being able to build anything just by thinking about it. Meet Base 44.
Essentially, not all, but some of the stuff that Brick Baby went down by was by content on No Jumper. He wasn't charged.
All right, good point, man. I want y'all to look at this screen, man. Look at the screen, gang. Y'all got to understand something, right? There are more people on Operation Drawdown, right? This was just the beginning, right, where they started off at, right? They had added more people, man. Now, out of all them people, you really think every last person that's on that list right there is solid? Excuse me, solid. You think everybody gonna hold it down and catch all this time for Big U? Somebody's gonna fold, somebody's gonna break. But this is the thing, though, right? Did y'all notice that when we talk about No Jumper, gang, nobody up there, it's not about music. It's all about gang beef, gang war. You see what I'm saying? How do y'all know that the feds didn't approach him to get everybody that's, look, bro, it's all gang members coming up there to No Jumper. All gang bangers. Everybody getting caught up in that rapture, bro. And when it's all said and done, because at the end of the day, I don't know, Adam Channel might be going down. You know what I'm saying? And by going down, and for him to probably, don't get hit. You know how they come at you with IRS problems and all that shit, right? He might be working with them people, man, and helping them bring down all of these people. I wouldn't put it past them. Wack might be in on it too, man. But I can tell y'all this, homie. Right now, everybody is just hoping that this shit go away. This shit ain't going nowhere. See, they want you to think that, this is small fries to a Big Mac. Dude, they working night and day on this case. You know what I'm saying? Big U is going pro se. He want to face his accusers. He's going to have the opportunity to see them in court and ask them questions. But it's going to get bad, bro. And we right around the corner. I think they court date is like what? August 13th or some shit like that. August 14th. Man, it's finna get ugly, gang. So y'all strap up your boots. Because when I say, man, when all this unsealed indictment document papers come out, bro, let's go tell it all. Let's go.
Charged with content, but it was definitely looked at as corroboration. We'll get to the whole Big U thing, but let me play a little bit of what the assistant U.S. attorney said about this case, and then we'll get into it because we got to hold documents.
Los Angeles to further his own criminal enterprise. Henley Jr.
Now, Henley, I'll just let it play it in full.
Announced federal criminal charges against Eugene Henley Jr., a career criminal known as Big U, who used his contacts and leadership role in the Crips criminal street gang, the entertainment industry, and a youth charity to further his own criminal enterprise, an enterprise engaged in murder, extortion, robbery, human trafficking, COVID fraud, and other felonies. Mr. Henley and several other individuals linked to him and his criminal enterprise were charged in a criminal complaint with federal racketeering conspiracy. Mr. Henley is a fugitive, and he is currently wanted by federal law enforcement. Other individuals linked to his criminal enterprise were arrested today, approximately 10 defendants who are charged in various indictments. Again, Mr. Henley is a fugitive. 4 defendants are in state custody and will be transferred into federal custody, and we are still seeking Mr. Henley and another fugitive. The Department of Justice's top priority is eliminating violent crime caused by criminal street gangs and organized crime. These organizations cause a tremendous amount of harm in our communities, and today's arrests are part.
Okay, he's yapping. Let's get to some details.
Defendants are presumed innocent until proven otherwise. Let me talk a little bit about Mr. Henley and the street gang here. As I said, Mr. Henley is a widely known leader within the rolling 60s. He rose to prominence in that gang decades ago, and he has since been a fixture on the internet, talk shows, and podcasts, all things that law enforcement have looked at closely as part of this investigation. He has maintained the image of an entertainment industry entrepreneur, running a music label, and of somebody who gets
Okay, let's just run that part back again.
closely as part of this investigation.
Hold on.
He is early 60s. He rose to prominence in that gang decades ago, and he has since been a fixture on the internet, talk shows, and podcasts, all things that law enforcement have looked at closely as part of this investigation. He has maintained the image of an entertainment industry entrepreneur running a music label and of somebody who gives back to the community here in Los Angeles, funding a South LA-based charity, developing options, which purports to help at youth risk escape gang life and escape the perils of gangs in high crime areas. The facts alleged in the complaint paint a very different picture. It is one of a murderer, a thief, a liar, and a cheat, and the criminals that enabled him. For example, Mr. Henley engaged in a murder of a musician signed to his label in 2021 and dumped the victim's body in Las Vegas off of the I-15 freeway. He then attempted to evade and obstruct the investigation into the murder, including ordering witnesses not to speak with law enforcement. Henley's criminal enterprise also engaged in other crimes, including transporting prostitutes across state lines, extorting strip clubs, marijuana dispensaries, and other businesses, and fraudulently applying for COVID loans in the form of a business relief loan. On that application, Mr. Henley falsely stated that his music label, Unique Music, operated at a $200,000 profit in 2019 and was entitled to government assistance, despite the reality that the company had operated at a loss and was ineligible for such relief. Finally, Mr. Henley is accused of embezzling donations made by celebrities, professional athletes, and businesses to his charity, developing options.
Okay. All right. Now this is the meat and potatoes. Y'all come here for this. Okay. Let me break it all down. So let me explain what's been going on in LA. Number one, all the LA gangsters, I don't know what's going on in LA. Maybe they don't sell enough drugs being in these gangs. They don't get money. They're broke. Okay? I'm sorry to say, LA gang members are fucking broke. The only way they know how to get money is podcasting. And again, there's nothing wrong with it because
see, this the shit that I see how some people be getting on his head about, bro. Like, you gotta really be in the streets to know who got it and who broke, bro. Like, this is not facts, but this is his opinion. Let's go.
I get money via podcasting. But here's the problem. Most of them are unintelligible, illiterate, don't know how to have coherence, ideas, points, or even make sentences. And what they oftentimes realize the intrigue about them is that they could say some shit that people would be like, well, I wouldn't know about that. What usually is that? Is talk about crimes they've committed. So the whole LA podcast scene, and I ain't gonna lie to you, I think LA is a weird scene in general. Let me just be very clear. And this is no indictment against LA, but let me speak very clearly. All you niggas that's on LA podcasting, y'all have celebrated and enjoyed this luxury of the feds and other authorities and policing bodies not giving a fuck about y'all for whatever reason. Here's the reality of it. Y'all throw up everything on y'all fingers, this and third, wear colors. If 3 niggas get shot in New York City and a nigga screaming out some subsection gang, that's a Rico. New York don't play that. That's why K-Flock locked up, Casanova 6ix9ine, they don't play that. There is no nigga that gets to say he's in a gang and that gang kills or does anything and that entire gang don't go down. Only in LA. So I've always thought because of LA, how vast gang culture is, they're impervious to what happens in other parts of the country. Okay?
Right.
I'm telling you.
No, I don't want to hear that shit.
Okay? Now, the reason why all this is happening, and because I keep telling you the feds don't really come in and fuck with LA that much, is that it looks like Big U has been in a very interesting place. He's been a target of many things. Not only has he been going around bragging that he's like, like the Crip version of what Suge Knight is, people are looking at him to be like, yo, okay, if this is, he's been a community leader as well. So when you get to be extra OG, you get to be a community leader. So Big U was running this organization called Development Options, but was also working through what they call a grid program, where it was getting paid over like $540,000 a year. So in about a few years, he got paid almost damn near $3 million, because the program they have in LA is that the cops, like, it's not like these other places, like say New York. The cops are scared of the gangs. You know why? Because the gangs almost outnumber the cops. Okay? So they try to work with them to some extent. So, in some cities, they do what's called a grid program. What a grid program is that, they're going to rely on older and senior members of maybe a gang to try to restore some peace and squash the violence. And also, if there was a situation to happen, that person is going to work with law enforcement to make sure it doesn't go further. Okay? You guys can Google this. It is widely available. It's called the Grid Program Los Angeles. Okay? If you read about it, it will tell you it's a gang prevention programs that hires actual older gang members, because at least in LA, there's a hierarchy. They do care about what the older heads say, as opposed to other places. And they give those people funds and resources to try to, squash violence or retaliatory shit. Okay. All right. So the murder happens. Allegedly. They think it's Big U, but they can't figure it out as Big U. Why can't they figure it out? So at the point, the altercation happened. The first altercation happened with the guy who died in a studio. It was Big U's studio. So apparently Big U orders for all the what do you call it again? I can't speak right now. He orders for all the security cameras to be discarded. So no one could ever find out what happened and how bad the scuffle was before the night the dude disappeared. The witnesses, whether the person who drove Big U to Vegas, because this happened to Vegas, not LA, other people that were around, whether in the studio, whatever, everyone was told, do not speak with the police. Now, it wasn't until a long time afterwards till police, did their due diligence and realized, like, oh shit, they believed it was Big U. But what they did do before they got there, and you got to imagine at this point, Big U's getting millions of dollars from this grid program. They want to know if this guy's a criminal. They actually opened up what's called a Title III intercept, which is a wiretap. And they started tapping his phone. And when they tapped his phone, he clearly thought he had got off, because visibly they didn't show that they were around him anymore. So he started yapping, telling them what y'all ran down on this person, y'all did this nigga gave me this money. And I don't know if that's fully in here.
Shoulder to shoulder charge, did money from that indictment. And
okay, but I do have the indictment here, and I'm gonna not read through the whole thing, but I'm gonna spell it out pretty quickly. So check this out. First and foremost, the reason why I think that WAC 100 affected this case, and I said it in front of him, and I'll say it to y'all. I think WAC tipped off Big U's family. This was not a grand jury indictment. This was a criminal complaint. A criminal complaint is used to, if you're charging someone with murder, that's not going to stick. You get what I'm saying? Like a criminal complaint, no. You want it to be grand jury, which means there was an actual legal proceeding where you presented evidence and they agreed with the evidence. So this was just to get Big U in custody. Well, why would they do that? Why would they need to get Big U in custody? Well, WAC 100 was online for the last 3 weeks before this got announced, saying, yo, they're coming to get you. Run, 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 run. So I would imagine that that's more of a contributing factor than anything else. Okay? So cool. So it's a criminal complaint. It got filed here.
Bro, it doesn't take a rocket science. Everybody confirms. Like, you knew Big U was getting indicted before he got indicted. 600 was saying this shit months before it even happened. You see what I'm saying? And at that point, y'all wasn't even talking to the lady who whose son died in Vegas. So where did they get that information from, gang? All of this shit is gonna come out, bro. You gotta realize you got 600 going to the court dates every month. Come on, it's a reason for that. Let's go.
And then we're gonna keep scrolling down. This is a whole indictment, by the way. Now there's some redacted pieces here, and the redacted pieces tell you that you're gonna see the superseding indictment. Now, this is the purpose of the affidavit. So they're saying Big U, these other people, they're running this enterprise, and they're saying, like, you know, for example, Tremaine Ashley Williams, which is loose cannon, he did a few things by robbing people, this and third, and they mentioned some women, all type of shit. Now, they also got a search warrant. They didn't run through his houses, and I don't know what they found, but let me explain essentially what this investigation was. In February 2021, FBI, Los Angeles Metropolitan Task Force on Violent Gangs, launched an investigation into Henley's criminal enterprise and its association with the Rolling 60s, which began investigating in 2020. It's like mafia-like. It utilizes Henley's stature and long-standing association with the Rolling 60s and other street gangs to intimidate businesses and individuals in LA. Big U Enterprise is led by Henley. Henley is a self-admitted gang member, or OG, okay, original gangster, of the Rolling 60s, which is a violent criminal street gang with associated sets in other states. He's widely acknowledged as a leader, and apparently in the 80s, he rose to prominence in his position, and he's been there ever since. During this time, he also earned a reputation of being an enforcer for the 60s. Some members of the enterprise are also members of the 60s. Henley is able to lead the Big U Enterprise because of his stand-in as the face of Rolling 60s for decades and blah, 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 blah. Okay, so the feds are painting two pictures. There's Rolling 60s and Big U Enterprise, okay? So they then say the associates of Rolling 60s and other criminal elements for mutual benefit, but the Big U Enterprise is a distinct and independent criminal enterprise engaged in criminal activity. Members and associates of the Big U Enterprise are engaged in legal activities, including extortion, robbery, murder, human trafficking, wire fraud, bank fraud, other financial crimes, obstruction of justice, illegal debt collection, illegal gambling, conspiracy to commit fraud via illegal gambling, and also other offenses in furtherance of Big U Enterprise for the benefits of its members and associates. So it says forth, okay. I'm not trying to bore you guys with details. I want to get straight to it. All right, cool. So they got a bunch of wiretaps, but let me go back to it. Just give me a second. And by the way, yes, Brick Baby's name is in this too. But I just want to paint the picture of what the fuck the cops are claiming happened, right? So here we go. Let's start with the murder. Where's the murder? Yeah, this is a lot of shit. You got checking in stuff, whatever. Okay. So here's the murder. So in January 2021, 5 days before the murder and 3 days before, Big U and some guy drove from LA to Vegas, okay? The artist, the person who died eventually, recorded this song, which Las Vegas police obtained later. But it says in the song, he rapped about the person who had the money, and RW would be shot in the face for thinking shit funny. Okay, a reference to a 30-year revolver with no trace. Based on my knowledge, blah, blah, blah. Basically said this was a diss song to Big U, claiming that Big U as the bro that makes money and that he may get shot in the face for thinking it's a lackadaisical use of okay, whatever. So they were beefing over like studio time and like studio like funds, right? It says the effectiveness of the enterprise is premiered like Big U is the most feared man in LA. Well, I thought that was Brick Baby, but okay, Big U, cool. As such, ensuring that no one disrespects him and such perceived disrespect is met with reprehensible violence. It's a core tenet to the enterprise, and even more so when that disrespect is displayed publicly, like in front of an extortion victims. He himself stated on an intercepted call, "Can't no nigga beef with me, because if he do, I'm gonna kill him. Period. I'm going to murder him." As Robinson explained in the surreptitious recording, when Big U got out, he says, "I'm the toughest nigga, and my body of work could prove it. And you know, whatever, I'm the only nigga still killing niggas today. You niggas retired. I didn't." They understand that. So essentially, they're saying that Big U kind of admitted to being a murderer himself, right? Now, let's keep going. Because the Big U enterprise existence relies on and thrives on the fear of violence and perception is paramount, Witness 2 explained that Henley, through the Big U enterprise entity Unique Music, was using Witness 2's expensive, valuable studio to record the Big U enterprise artists for free, based on the fear and power dynamics imposed over Witness 2 by the Big U. Okay, this is a lot of reading, bro. I mean, I get what it is. Yo, the dude made a diss song to Big U at the studio. Big U didn't think it was gonna get like that, but it did. The night before the murder, Henley's phone location and date and witnesses showed that he arrived at an Airbnb. At this time, the Airbnb was staying in prior to the homicide, was in the middle of the night, and Henry, through this, was paying for the Airbnb. The surveillance footage in front of it showed that a gray or dark silver sedan arriving there and leaving shortly after. The surveillance video also showed Henley at the Airbnb. Okay. So, again, we're explaining this murder before we get to like some of the juicy shit. On January 24th, 2021, the night of the murder, okay, approximately 7:04, Henley, which is Big U, arrives to the studio. According to witnesses, around 8 or 9, so now it's an hour or two. The guy who made this song about him, RW, heads to the studio, okay? And recorded a song approximately until 11, so now it's 11 p.m. On January 25th, 2021, approximately 12:37, Henley, which is Big U, left. Where is it at? Okay. So they took to, no, he departed Las Vegas. He's trying back to LA. So these are the evidence from the scene. They found multiple gunshot wounds. They also found that, hold on. The responders noted that RW was not dressed for the weather, which was cold and inclement of the night. DNA was connected from RW's ankle and sock, consistent with the direction that he was being dragged with. He says profile was not obtained. The DNA profile obtained was not complete, likely to blah blah blah. Huh. Okay, chat. I feel like I'm gonna sit here and just kind of like break all this shit down, and it's just so much stuff. So I have to summarize. This is all Big U's fault. Big U killed someone. I'm still asking myself, why did the feds open up a wiretap because he killed someone? You know what the answer to that is, chat? Big U killed someone, and the feds always been lurking in the background. Like, for example, the feds been trying to get all these guys for years, whether it's Jay Prince, whether it's, you know, in this type of situation where it's like Big U or whatever. Like, a lot of these guys who they feel are operating like they're bigger than the program, okay? So that's really what people should care about. So cool. So the murder happens. It looks like the feds join in and be like, yo, we could get you some wiretaps. We're trying to catch this guy too. The state takes it. And what they find out is that they could catch him on a gun charge. So the state takes, the feds take that. But what they realize over the time is that this is a really, really bad situation for Big U. Because not only did he allegedly kill someone, he's a guy who went out and he's kind of holding down this whole mantra of this West Coast and checking in shit. But the main crime that they have you for, that's going to give them all the details for the other crimes, is essentially because you're not involved. You know what I mean? And what I mean by not involved is like the murder got everything hot, and then everybody had to ask you to do some shit, which you never did yourself. So now the wiretap that was on you told on everybody else. Now,
boom. That's it right there. Y'all stay tuned, man. We got more of this content coming, man. This is a late night reaction. I'm going to see y'all in the next video, gang. Let's go.